Talk Loughborough, the podcast from Loughborough University, bringing you interesting interviews from staff and students across the campus and the latest news. My name is Jemima and I'm your host, and I'm a second year student who studies English with Digital Humanities.
And I'm Soph, I'm Jemima's co-host. I'm the Internal Communications Officer at the university, looking after staff and student comms.
So today's episode, we're going to be talking about clearing because it's coming to that time of year. People are getting offers, people are going to university. And with us here, we have two special guests that I'll introduce later to talk about that process.
Thanks. So my name's Jared. I'm a Student Recruitment Officer working for the School and College Liaison team at Loughborough.
And I'm Rebecca. I'm a second year student and I study English.
And Rebecca, you came through clearing, is that right?
Well, I did come through clearing, yes.
Amazing. So you can tell us all about your experience as well. Right, Jemima, kick us off with the questions.
So just to kickstart, for people who don't know, what is clearing?
So yeah, clearing is the process where students whose grades maybe weren't everything that they wanted can still find a place at university. So if they sort of underperform in their eyes sort of thing, they can still get the chance to come to university and experience everything that university has to offer.
Rebecca, from your side, how was clearing and what are the advantages of clearing?
I think like some of the major advantages is that like clearing is normally seen as a bad thing, but actually it's like another opportunity for you to find a course that might be better suited for you, or another place to go to university that actually ends up being like your perfect home.
Yeah, that's really interesting. My friend went through clearing back home in my year, and she now loves where she's ended up. So it is definitely not a negative thing. It's something that could just be your perfect home, like you just discussed. So if we go through the clearing process, because I know it's not as clear cut as some people may think it is. So Jared, would you like to take us through that?
Yeah, sure. And yeah, just like you said, there's so much stuff to clearing. But yeah, we'll try and make it as clear as possible here. So the first step really is getting your results. So this year it's on the 18th of August, I believe. So you get your results, open that envelope. If things aren't quite what you wanted, head straight to UCAS and you need to log in and get onto UCAS track. They will automatically generate a clearing ID if you haven't made the grades that you wanted or haven't been accepted to any of the universities. The next step is to start ringing universities and asking about courses. So you might be able to, every sort of university has some vacancies and some extra places that they're happy to give out. And you need to start ringing them and asking whether they'll accept you onto their course. If the answer is yes, they'll give you a verbal offer, which will be confirmed by an email. And we'll give you a time limit on how long you have to accept this offer. If you do decide to accept it, you then go into, again, UCAS and add it as a clearing choice. And then UCAS will do some stuff with us in the background, and then you'll be sent the welcome to Loughborough sort of offer, or whether it's another university, but you know.
Thank you. Rebecca, do you want to talk a bit about your experience with clearing, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course. So I actually sat my A-level exams in 2019, took a gap year, and then by the end of it, I'd had a complete change of heart. I didn't know where I wanted to go, what course I actually wanted to do. So I looked at Loughborough's English and Sports Science course originally, realised that they had spaces through clearing, rang up. I was all very stressed because it is quite a stressful situation. But I really didn't need to stress at all because I think I kept ringing up like to check I was actually able to go, and the person on the phone was always like, yes, no, it's fine, it will come through. So they really like reassure me, because obviously you feel like you're kind of in a bit of like an open space where you don't actually know where you'll get to uni then. And then the offer came through and I accepted it, and here I am, and I'm very glad that I ended up here. So it was actually far less stressful than I thought it would be, and it definitely worked out perfectly in the end, which I think is always the question mark that people have when they have to go through clearing in the first place.
Oh, thank you. It is just nice to hear people's experiences, because I know clearing can be stressful, and like the thought of clearing when you're going through school is very much, people saw it as a negative thing of, oh, I don't want to go through clearing, but it's actually quite a positive thing if you change your mind or if you want a different decision. So Jared, you could probably speak a bit more about clearing specifically here at Loughborough and that process.
Yeah, so it's quite an exciting process, to be honest. We get a load of students like yourself, Jemima, and like you, Rebecca, a load of staff all together, and we convert one of our computer labs into a call centre, and we all sit on the phones all day for a few days and take all of your calls. And we are wanting to make offers. Basically, we're wanting to be able to give people a chance to come to Loughborough and enjoy what we've got here. So that's what it looks like for us at our end. And yeah, it's a very exciting time to add to our sort of Loughborough family, I guess.
I guess it's also important to say, Jared, that the people on the other end of the phone are there to help you as well, aren't you? They want the absolute best for you. And
Yeah.
so, you know, I think we've mentioned a couple of times where it can be quite stressful, but I think it's worth mentioning as well that the staff on the other end, they want to make the best of the situation for you and help you as best they can. So try not to stress if you do go through clearing, because as we've said, it can end up being even better than what you originally had planned.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that everyone is just lovely as well on the other side of the phone, and they're very understanding. I know some of my friends have worked the clearing calls last year, so they want people to come to Loughborough. They want to help you get into university of your choice. So it is very, like, while it is quite a stressful time for you, we're trying to make it less stressful over the phone.
Maybe one for Jared. How early is there information online about the clearing places at Loughborough? When is that information available?
Yeah, so the information about Loughborough clearing places will be made available on results day on our dedicated like Loughborough clearing website. So if you want to find it, you can just Google Elborough clearing and it'll be the first thing that comes up. Also on results day, our phone lines will become open and they'll be open from 8 until 6. You can call anytime, ask any questions that you want during that time, but we don't do the verbal offers during that time until the afternoon. So the phone lines are open 8 till 6, but we don't make any offers until later in the afternoon. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
That gives students a bit of time as well from the 8 a.m. like results, which is quite good. So you've got time to do your research. So top tips for clearing.
My top tip, I guess, would be research. So if it's a possibility that you might need to do clearing, make sure you keep your like high standards of what university you want, whether the course offers placements, what the student experience is like, and do your research before you start making all of those calls. Don't let sort of a day of sort of uncomfort and sadness determine the next 3 years of your life. You really still have to be happy where you are and still make some good choices. So that would be my top tip. The other one, as we've already said, don't panic. Thousands of students go through clearing every year. For some people, that's the plan, you know, if you're taking a gap year. So yeah, try and relax and just crack through those calls and rack up those offers. And also having a pen and paper next to that phone is vital. You're going to want to record all of those offers you've got, your UCAS ID. There's loads of different bits of information that you're going to want.
I think my top tips as well, I'd echo exactly what Jared said, and stay calm, I think, is the big one. But I think also see it as an opportunity, because it is like going to university is really exciting and it shouldn't be something that is filled with that much stress. So like researching courses that you might not have thought you'd have ended up on in the first place, or researching other universities that you might not have applied to in the first place, can actually be really exciting, and you might see things in a different way than when you first made your application, because it would nearly have been a year ago by that point. And lots of my friends applied to courses originally and missed their grades for those courses, but ended up on a similar course with a different slant to it, and they actually found that they've done so much better on those courses, and in hindsight they'd have hated the other courses now that they know what they know. So I think definitely see it as a good thing.
Yeah, I think research is also one of those massive things. You echo it throughout like your whole UCAS journey of like going to universities and researching, but like it still holds true for clearing. You still need to end up happy for wherever you end up. So it is very important, but all those things are perfect top tips for people going through clearing. And I hope this episode has helped and brought light to people maybe going through clearing or who haven't considered clearing before, and really understanding what it is and how to get there. So just to round up, thank you guys for joining us today. I know it's been a quick one, but it's been filled of lots and lots of information. So all this information will be found 3 p.m. on results day on UCAS.
Yeah, and to the Loughborough clearing website as well, I'm correct. So if you Google Loughborough University clearing, that will come up for you as well.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining today. And don't forget, everyone at home, to subscribe to Let's Talk Loughborough on all streaming platforms. And you can also watch the podcast on the Loughborough University YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for listening, and we hope that those of you who come to Loughborough through clearing will enjoy our podcast when you get here. So feel free to share any future episodes that you have ideas about with us via our Instagram.